I have something for you.
What? Oh, how sweet. I love you with a little heart.
Yes.
Is
What?
Is that true?
What do you mean is that true? Of course it's true.
Do you want something? Do you want, like, more sex or something?
More sex 3 times a day? No, that part's not true. What do you mean?
What do you want?
You mean you
Is
don't...
this true?
Is this true? You mean you don't know whether something's true or not?
What do you want?
What if I don't want anything? What if it's just a message? What if that's just true? I love you.
What's true?
So what's true? So what's true? So, good morning. Nice to be here. So, what's true? Interesting. Even when we wind up having a doubt or challenging or uncertainty about somebody saying, I love you, I'm not sure. What does that mean? Is there a hidden agenda, a hidden message in things?
And what's true for you versus what's true for me?
Sure. So if I say, do you like the color green?
Sure. Well, what color green?
Oh, see, so now it gets complicated. It gets both simple and complicated. Do you like green? So as soon as I clarify it, green as in trees.
Well, there's an oak tree, and there's a maple tree, and there's an olive tree, and they're all different shades of green.
Of course. So now it just got more complicated in terms of answering the question in what's true. So one of the reasons I want to kind of play with this is this whole issue of what's true and the complications and complexities of what's true is actually what's starting to very much come to the surface. And all over the world, things that have been just taken for granted or assumed or allowed or tolerated, accepted as truth, in real terms, when you get below the question, do you like green? Oh, of course I like green. Everybody likes green. Well, does everybody like the same color green? Does everybody like this aspect of green? Some people would basically say, oh, I like redwood trees. Well, we just changed the topic from green to trees, and it was a very subtle shift. And pretty soon we're talking about the different kinds of trees, and the question of green falls off the discussion. So one of the things that is beginning to be very much in your face is what is truth. So the issue is what is true for you. Let's take another subject that's really big in terms, so this is just a subject, not a politics. So do you like the flag? Of
Yeah,
course,
I like the flag.
everybody likes the flag. Okay, but as soon as you take it into the next question, what does the flag mean for you? Oh, all of a sudden the simplicity and the complexity starts to take on a change.
And what the flag means for, say, an immigrant who's just moved here could be freedom and opportunity. But what the flag means for someone who's living in a ghetto is restriction.
So let's just take that into the reality of the current situation. So here you've got a very capable young man playing quarterback in college, goes into the pros, and basically is asked to stand up in American circumstance. It's a tradition. Now this applies to all countries all over the world. And in this case, he makes a decision that what that national anthem is and what that flag is not about me. It's about freedom, but it's not about my freedom. It's not about people of color's freedom. And so now you have one individual basically saying, I'm not in agreement with the group agreement. Now this is really important because the world is in the process of changing significantly, and this is just the condition of the change that's coming about. So we're not talking about the politics. We're talking about the condition of group agreements. And so you're seeing one person basically in what had to be a very disruptive internal decision-making process, make a decision in front of 80,000 people in what is the accepted group agreement. You stand for this, pledge allegiance to the flag, and he didn't. And so you get this tremendous, news issue and turmoil and rights and wrongs and good and bad. It's third dimension. And that's really what this is all about. The third dimension is going away. The right and wrong, the dualities is going away. So if you find yourself in the truth versus not truth argument, you're in the third dimension. Yeah. So in this case, you've got circumstances that are showing up all over the world. So you get this one situation here in the United States, and all of a sudden it begins to be a whole lot of people coming conscious to something that was generally both accepted but unconscious. I don't believe in this, but I stand up and salute the flags, many would say. Now you get a whole bunch of others of all races starting to say, wait, that doesn't represent freedom from all, which is the anthem itself. And so Catalina in Spain, you get people, a whole massive group of people saying what my anthem, what my flag, what my country stands for is not what I stand for. You get it in elections in Germany right now, where the group of people that have a very specific, in this case, right-wing philosophy, all of a sudden coming back into the fold, being elected into government bodies. So you're watching this conditional group agreement about what is truth, and we don't talk about that. It's the old, we don't talk about sex, politics, and religion at the dinner table. We're now talking about these things at the dinner table. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this issue of what is truth is something that each of us are going to be confronted with, whether you like this or not. Now, let me go back again and say, this is about duality versus stepping into a higher vibrational field. So this conversation is really about you as a spiritual being in a physical form, a physical body, basically watching an accepted conditionality. Condition, third dimension, everything is conditional. Nothing in the third dimension is unconditional. That's a higher state of being unconditional. But you're being forced, whether you choose it or being dragged into it, you're being forced into making decisions about what's true. The status quo is being significantly disrupted. And so this whole process of how do I wish to live my life? How do I engage with other people? How do I do things? Choose. How do I choose?
Yeah.
So, this is an issue that is not going away. In fact, I want to talk a lot more about this. We're going to do a live Facebook. I'm going to probably talk for half an hour, 45 minutes, about this whole structure of truth and beliefs. But if you stay in this third dimension, he's right, she's wrong, circumstance, you're in third dimension.
Yeah.
What's happening is all of it's being pushed to the surface for a reason, to get it out, to basically begin to move into something that is more stable, a unconditional love, an unconditional relationship. I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to have a hidden agenda. I can just simply say, oh, I love you. I don't need anything else necessarily. That might come as an addition. Oh yeah, you want to get more sex? Sure, that's okay. I'm all for it. But that doesn't have anything necessarily to do with the I love you or the expression or the truth. This place where people of difference to you, whether it's color or ethnicity or race or religion, or just simply beliefs, I believe this and you believe that, doesn't mean that everything else in the relationship has to be sacrificed because we don't agree right here. And the piece that we'll talk a lot about all through this month in terms of probably a couple free live webinars, is the emotion that gets drawn to the unconscious thought about, well, how dare that black young man not stand up for the flag? He must therefore. No, that's not true at all. It's an interesting thing. You watch Donald Trump make a comment, for example, and you watch the exact words on CNN, and you watch the exact words on Fox News. You have two different complete universes.
Two different truths.
Two different truths. And the reality is, if you listen to them without the judgment, they're both correct.
Yeah.
But this belief system and this belief system are not at a place where they can continue. It's a clash.
Yeah.
And so 1 and 1 is 3. This is where I can allow you your opinion, your beliefs, and how do we take this to the higher road of well-being, respect, dignity, appreciation. And so this topic is not going away. This is something that in the next 5, 10, 15 years, everybody is going to be confronted with this set of truths. And some of them are as simple as challenging a spouse who says, I love you, and what do you want? When really the communication was a simple, straightforward communication of expression of appreciation. So it's an interesting place that we're going to begin to play. So, what do you think?
I think I love you too.
That works. So we're going to continue this. We're going to take it in a couple different formats, but
Friday
we'll do a live Facebook, and we'll start to talk about this in much deeper terms, much more. How do you transition from this third dimensional state of being
and
into
hold
this,
your truth
and
throughout it?
Well, identify your truths,
Yeah.
your own dignity, your own respect, and step into a higher fifth dimensional world where you can be aligned with, and basically when you allow the other and the other allows you, all of a sudden that rigid truth begins to have more flexibility, fluidity, mobility, and it begins to be a higher truth. And so this is what's unfolding, and I kind of want to have this conversation to all who are listening, because you're the spiritual beings that are on the leading edge of this. You're the ones who, when understand this, begin to live this. The vibrational frequency of this balance is going to begin to move into the ethers for others to see.
Yeah, very good.
So we'll continue this as we go forward. Have a nice morning.